Hey everyone. So many of us are brought up and conditioned to believe that we need to look outside ourselves for validation. We constantly question ourselves and procrastinate on making decisions, ones that are significant and ones that aren't as significant. But what if I told you there's an infinite intelligence that is already within you? What if I told you that you already have all the answers that you could possibly ever want or need to guide your life? You do, and it's your intuition. How amazing would it feel to be tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to every answer that you could possibly need for yourself? I'm here to tell you that it is absolutely possible, and I'm going to share with you today a few tips that will help you get started in forging a strong, unbreakable connection with yourself intuitively. The first thing that you want to do is make space for yourself to be still and to be quiet, especially in today's times and with all of the technology. We're constantly distracted with something that is going on outside of ourselves. Social media, our jobs, our relationships, all of the noise in the news and what's going on in the world. If we aren't intentional about the way that we live and the way that we spend our time, it can cause us to feel stuck and confused because we aren't allowing ourselves the time to reflect. So taking time for yourself each day to be still is crucial in tapping in to your intuition. The next thing that you want to look at doing is focusing on being present, okay? And what I mean by that is that when we're focused in the past, or we are focused and worried about what our future is going to look like, we aren't being present. We can't change the past, and our future only exists in potential. Your power, you are empowered to create the life you want by being present and mindful of what is going on around you and within you in this current moment, right now. The next tip that I have for you is to trust. And this is huge, okay? Because what comes up for us sometimes doesn't seem logical. And when we're looking to make changes in our life, we need different solutions. We need a different way of thinking. And using the same thought patterns that we've always used to make decisions, it doesn't work. And that doesn't come from our intuition, from our heart. That comes from our mind that wants to keep us safe and stuck in the same cycle. And it could very well be that this cycle of thought patterns and beliefs that you've used up to this point have served you. But when you're looking to make changes in your life and make major decisions, you have to take a different approach. So trusting and having faith is so important. And that leads me to the next thing that I want to share with you is the importance of choosing differently. Okay? Again, what we receive intuitively for ourselves in terms of guidance may not always seem logical, but we need to be willing to follow it in order to get to the next level in our lives, in order to achieve our goals. And the last thing that I want to talk about, which is really important, is making sure that you maintain a positive mindset, okay? When we are in a positive mindset, when we are open to different solutions and possibilities, we open ourselves to be able to receive that higher guidance. When we spend our time being in a place of doubt and fear and worry, that's the wrong time to tune into your intuition, because you have an energy that's attached, right? You're fearful that what you want won't occur. And so if you try to connect with yourself at that point, it's going to be very difficult for you to receive accurately the direction that you need to go into. And a question that a lot of people ask me is, how do I know if the guidance I'm receiving is coming from my intuition or my mind? The first indicator of this is to understand that any guidance that you receive for yourself intuitively will not ever be fear-based, okay? It may not always seem logical, and a lot of times your higher guidance will guide you in a direction towards stepping outside of your existing comfort zone to have what you want, but it will never be fear-based. The mind is what plants fear-based thoughts, because the mind is what keeps us in the same cycle of behavioral patterns. Patterns, as I mentioned earlier, that may have served us at one point in terms of keeping us safe, but they don't anymore. Your intuitive guidance is always going to be neutral, okay? It will never be fear-based. Our intuitive guidance, our higher guidance, always comes from a place of love, and it always comes from sending us in a direction that serves our highest good and the highest good of all. By following the tips that I've shared with you today, you can forge a much stronger connection with your own intuitions. But understand that this is a practice, as with anything else. It's like working a muscle. And so what you want to do is practice by asking yourself questions that you want to have the answer to. And be aware of how those answers come to you, because that will help you to establish the pattern for how you connect to your intuitive guidance, because we all connect to our guidance differently. Some of us see those answers in our mind. Some of us receive thoughts often that pop into our head. And so you need to practice by asking yourself questions and pay attention to how you receive those answers. And eventually, you'll be able to make quick decisions throughout your day, every day, by following your intuition. So, you know the saying, practice makes perfect. But I want you to know that by tapping into your intuition, you will be able to confidently take decisive action in your life. Imagine that. In every area of your life, in your business, in your career, in your relationships. Really feeling like you're navigating your life facing your true north.